Welcome. This is Lynda, and I'm happy to have you with me. I'm thrilled because I think today I'm going to be able to complete 2 of my UFOs, my unfinished objects, that if you've been sewing or stitching, you have, for very many years, you have some of these stashed away. And so one of my goals for this year, 2024, is to complete all the UFOs that I have on shelves. And so throughout the year, I will be grabbing some of these. I even have some of these packed away, so I'm going to be trying to find out where I packed them away at. I moved in the middle of the summer this year, 2023, and so I still have stuff in boxes that I haven't unloaded yet that go into my craft room. So I'm going to try to find all of those pieces throughout the year and finish them for you. And not that there's anything just great about any of them especially, but they may give you some ideas or give you a little inspiration. At the very least, maybe you'll grab some of your UFOs and get them completed and use them in some way. Now, I have a project in mind for this one, but I don't want to really say what it is yet in case it doesn't come through. You'll recognize it if I do use it, and I will remind you if I do use it later and what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so that's this one, and I am completed with this one. Last video I put all this stitching in. I did a little bit more. I did some leaf stitching, chain stitching, just stippling type things, and I thought, okay, that's enough. This piece has enough stitching on it for me at this point. Okay, and so let's go to the next one. We're going to call the 2 that I have, we're going to call one of them done. And let's see if I can finish the other one today. It doesn't need a lot. This one is just a decorative piece. I simply made it because I love the colors in this fabric, and I loved it with this peachy. It was a very faint peachy muslin here. And so then I just made some teardrops, and I just layered up the teardrops in decorative artsy way, and I have been sewing them on. And then this will become in itself just a wall hanging. Let me get this extra thread out of the way here. Okay, I've been working with an ecru color thread, and I'm real happy with that. Like I said, I don't like much, basically just getting this teardrop sewn on and then determining if I want any more stitching in here. I'm not thinking at this point I do, because that's pretty busy, and actually this plain part really allows your eye to rest and then appreciate the teardrops actually more. I think if I stitched in here, it would remove the focus off the teardrops. And so I'm pretty much sure right now that I'm not going to do any more stitching in that area. Now, in our slow stitching, we don't want to slow stitch just for the sake of slow stitching. At least I don't. I want it to mean something. I want, if I slow stitch an area, it's because I think it needs it, not just because I want to fill up every square inch with stitching. I want to look at my piece. I want to let the piece talk to me a little bit. I want to let it tell me what it wants to be, and then go from there. Okay? So that's why I'm not going to slow stitch this empty space back here. So let's get to this right here, and let's finish this piece. And if you've noticed in my slow stitching, and I don't do a lot of intricate embroidery. I don't call myself an embroidery artisan because that is just not really what I do. And so most of my stitches in most of my pieces are going to fall into the realm of straight stitches, stem stitches, chain stitches, some lazy daisy stitches, some French knots, very, very basic stitches. And of course, knotting up your thread is one of my talents. So in case you haven't mastered that yet, well, you came to the right place. There you go. But it's one reason why I know that beginners can follow me well, because you don't have to know a lot of embroidery stitches. If you can just sew a stitch, period, you can slow stitch. Now, when you want to do some beautiful embroidery, there are channels out there that really, I mean, they are gorgeous. They are talented in what they do. They teach it well, and you can learn to do that. And but you know, over the years, I did spend some time learning more intricate embroidery, and I do have some pieces that I did that way. But again, I keep saying in my videos, there's boho blood in me, because I keep coming back to the scrappy and to the boho style of design. And while I do love the stitching, the slow stitching, it is not the focal point of most of my pieces. It is an embellishment, but not a focal point. So, which is different. If you're embroidering for the sake of embroidery, that is your focal point. Your stitching is your focal point. And so you just kind of have to decide what it is that you really enjoy and what you really want to do. I just love this piece so much, and I just don't know yet. I'm thinking that I would love to put it on the front of a cream colored pillow. I just, how pretty that would be. Old, maybe a pillow that's covered in old lace, vintage. That would be pretty. Anyway, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with this piece once I've completed it. But I'll think on it, and I will do something. It also would make a beautiful embellishment to a cream-colored pillow sham, wouldn't it? For your bed. Of course, it could always just simply be framed. It would be a gorgeous framed piece. It gives a little different format in that it's vertical in design. Of course, it can be horizontal. It presents itself both ways, but I think it shows off itself better in the vertical format. But that's personal taste. So, but anyway, like I said, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do something with it because it's too pretty to leave in a box even after I get through with it. So in some future video, you'll probably see what I have done with this. I may have told you I moved in the middle of this year, and we have a new home, and I have a sun porch that my husband finished off for me, but we haven't yet furnished it or decorated it or anything like that. So that's a project probably we're going to do in the spring next year. And I do want to hang quite a few of my pieces in that sunroom, because I'm thinking I'm going to spend a lot of wonderful stitching hours in that room, because it has lots of windows. I can see outside. I feel like I'm outside while I'm in that room, and I love it. And the sun coming in, and oh, it's just a wonderful, cozy little room. And I want to be able to, decorate it with some of my artwork and just some of my slow stitch pieces and other things. So this one will probably maybe find its way into that room. When I get that room going, maybe not necessarily finished, decorated, but at least get some furniture in it so you can see what it looks like, I will video it for you. And it was originally just a back patio area that had a cover, a roof on it, but we decided to close it in, make it an all-weather room so that it could be used. And so that's what we did with it. Okay, like I said, I'm going to be able to finish 2 pieces in this video, 2 of these UFOs. Boy, what a good feeling that is. They've been sitting on one of my shelves, and I keep looking at them, and they keep looking at me, and they look so sorrowful and sad because I'm ignoring them. And so now you can't hear it, but they're kind of giggling. They are done. They can join the ranks of other done things. What do you think? I love the colors. I like the way the teardrops came out. This is a good lesson too in basic shapes. These were teardrops. You could have taken squares. You could have taken circles. You could have taken triangles. You could have taken rectangles. You could take a shape of a bunny, a shape of a heart, a shape of a star, anything, and embellish it, and then add it to a background that you like or that enhances it. And those are fun projects because each of the little elements you work by itself, and so it's a very small little thing in your hand while you're working it. I had one extra, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, but when I worked him out, he just didn't play as well as I wanted him to. And also, somehow or another, he got to be, well, he's not a lot smaller, but he is smaller. And I thought, okay, I will save you for another project. And that's, you can see, it's just a teardrop shape. That's all it is, just embellished. And so that's for another project. So, okay, I'm going to end this video here. And this is 2 UFOs from me down. So if you work on some of your UFOs, please let me know in the comments how you're doing on that. And I'm going to start a playlist for UFOs so we can follow each other along and as we finish up some of our projects. These are not, I'm not going to be making videos from start to finish for these UFO videos. They're going to be projects that I've already gotten into and just need to finish. And I have quite a few of those. So anyway, I hope it gave you some inspiration. I hope you have an idea of something you could do with that and make one of your own. Until next time, stay scrap happy.